Hello, everybody. This is Maria. This is my very first YouTube live, so I'm nervous. And I hope it's all working, but we will see when I listen to this video. So, welcome everyone that might join me live, and also those of you watching the recording. My background is crazy. I was not even going to be filming in my home office today, and it just happened that I am today. So, what I am planning on doing is coming live on a weekly basis on my channel to just further engage with all of my followers and subscribers, and just to really help small business owners out there related to their business finances. And so I want to dive into today's topic. We're actually going to cover two things. So it's December the 18th as I record this. And so we're getting ready for Christmas and all of that fun stuff. But as an accounting firm owner and a business consultant, I also am helping my clients kind of prepare for the end of the year and for tax season, tax time that's coming upon us. And as much as you might not want to think about your finances as a business owner in the month of December, I want to share with you some really, hopefully you'll find it very valuable information to help you get ready and to take advantage of some tax savings this month before the end of the year, because the tips I'm going to give you today, you have to implement those in 2024 or in whatever year you're listening to take advantage of them for the upcoming tax season. So two topics we're going to cover today. The first thing we're going to talk about is choosing an accounting software, and then we're also going to get into those tax tips. And so let's go ahead and get going. So the first topic is I decided to do it on my first live because it's a very common question that I get from existing clients as well as new clients, and then also just customers and leads and all kinds of people. Is I hear this question about accounting software and what kind of software do I need to use? And there's a lot, right? There's a lot of accounting software out there, and a lot of business owners will just look at different accounting software and look at the price and really have the price be the dictator of what is the one that they want to go with. Or maybe you've used an app like Dubsado or Honeybook or some other apps that like have an accounting thing built within them, like an accounting feature. And so you might be just thinking, what does it even matter, Maria? Like, what can I just use a spreadsheet? What do I really need? So the first thing you want to know is, are you a product-based business owner or are you a service-based business owner? So I'm going to give you a recommendation based on that, based if you're a product-based or based on if you're a service-based. So you might have heard of QuickBooks Online. So that's really one of the top accounting softwares, at least in the US. And there's another one very similar called Xero. It's actually spelled Xero. They're a company out of New Zealand, but they are really making a big push in the US and also in Canada. And both of those I would highly recommend both of those. I don't have a lot of experience with Xero. I have a lot of experience with QuickBooks Online. And I do recommend that you use QuickBooks Online if you are a product-based business, if you're an e-commerce seller, if you have like a retail store, you have a lot of products, you have physical goods that you need to track inventory, that you have a lot of sales as far as a frequency every day. A lot of the features that QuickBooks Online has, you're going to use those in order to basically make your financials organized and make them accurate. Another highlight of QuickBooks Online is they have a lot of integrations with the software. So particularly for a retail or e-commerce or a product-based business, there's a lot of apps that can be connected with your QuickBooks and literally will save you hours and hours and hours of time. So if you are listening to me and you are an e-commerce or retail business and you need help, just comment below. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have as far as how your setup needs to be, but truly having other apps that are connected to your QuickBooks will save you a ton of time. And it also helps you from an accuracy standpoint to use technology. And so I don't want to get too down into that little rabbit hole of e-commerce accounting, because it's sort of its own beast in a way about how to really manage that. But certainly if you have questions, just reach out and I'm happy to answer those. Our team, we have a lot of e-commerce clients that we manage day-to-day accounting for, and we're happy to help you. So now if you're listening to this as a service-based business owner, you're like, okay, Maria, what do I need to do? As a service-based business owner, you do have some more flexibility. There's some other tools. And the main tool that I recommend is FreshBooks. So I don't know if you've heard of FreshBooks. It's not as well known, but it's certainly an excellent platform. It's also a full featured accounting system. And what that means is that it has the ability to run all kinds of financial reports. It has the ability to enter journal entries. We're able to reconcile accounts. And so for those reasons, I really don't recommend that you just use a spreadsheet or that you use something like I mentioned with a CRM, like a Honeybook or a Dubsado, or some type of app that has an accounting kind of feature built in. Just because it maybe allows you to have a connection doesn't really, it's not going to do everything that you need. You really want to have a solid, full featured accounting system. And I'll talk about that in just a few minutes. So, really, to sum it up, there's QuickBooks Online is my recommendation for a product-based business. If you're a service-based business, then certainly FreshBooks can be a great option. I like FreshBooks for service-based also because it doesn't have as many features, and so it's a lot easier to get started, especially if you want to do it yourself and you don't want to hire like an accountant or a consultant to come in and like set it all up and spend hundreds of dollars doing that, or thousands of dollars even. It's something that you can more easily set up. One other tip I want to give you is whether you are listening to this and you're just now setting up accounting software for the first time, or you're like, man, I've got to clean up on my hands. Like, I've just got a mess. What do I do? Do I need to clean up what I've got, or do I need to start over? So I'm recording this video in December. And so with that said, this time of year, what I would do is I would stay with whatever you have connected now. And I would make sure that all of your accounting records are you're just whatever you're using today, even if it's something you don't like, just use that method for the rest of the year. There's no sense in you going and like cleaning all this stuff up if you have it somewhere. If you don't have any type of accounting system, then I would at least say that you want to make sure that you have good documentation, that you have an account where you can show the transactions for your business, you have receipts. Even if they're electronic receipts, you have receipts for your business that you're able to have as proof of everything that transpired in your business. So that's really, really important that you have that. And so if you want to change gears and you do want to use another, either start using an accounting software or switch to a different accounting software, always do it at the beginning of another year. So most businesses are going to be running from like a January to December fiscal year. And so that's what you want to do is you want to move at the beginning of the year into a new system. Now, the other thing you can do just to think through that a little bit more, you are absolutely able to continue using what you're using now, set up a trial with another system. Maybe you want to check out FreshBooks, and I'll have links below, by the way, down below. If you want to try these, I have affiliate links. I'm actually a partner with FreshBooks, and I'm a pro advisor with QuickBooks Online. So I have some links below that you can get discounts off of a monthly subscription. So I would love it if you would use my link. But also that would help you to be able to save. But anyway, try that out. Try out another system. See how you like it. See how it compares. And then you might decide to switch to another system or to use that system or to stay where you are. So one other thing to mention about accounting software is this. You don't have to move everything. So if you've been in business for years and years, you want to think through just how much financial data that you want to move over if you want to transition from one system to another. What I would say is really, especially if cost is a consideration, you might just want to think about just not moving over historical data and just having data and creating reports and then just closing out that account. But just get the reports that you need, get some of that, obviously your financial statements, you're going to need those. But certainly if you want to move over historical data, you absolutely can, but just know that there's additional cost involved. And I would recommend that you use a professional instead of trying to figure out yourself how to pull all that data. So that's one thing that we do at my company at Simplified Partners is we certainly can help you. It's called a conversion, and we can help you convert from one software to the other. We don't cover all types of software conversions, like all different accounting softwares, because that would be that we don't have the experience in all of the different softwares, but we have experience with several, and we can help you. And I promise it'll go a lot smoother because we know what we're doing. We have a process for how to do that. So again, ask questions. I would be more than happy to answer any questions. We have an email address. It's hello@simplifiedpartners.com. You can shoot us an email over there or just leave a comment here. I believe there's a commenting area on live. I'm still going to be learning the ropes here. So the other thing I want to jump into in this live is talking about tax saving strategies. This is super, super important. So as we near the end of the year, as I'm recording this live, this is the perfect time of year for you to just take a little bit and assess where you are financially in your business. So maybe you have had a year where you know that you've made more than you have in years past, and you're already thinking, oh man, how much am I going to owe in taxes? Or you really don't know. But regardless, you might just want to take advantage of any savings that you can. So there's a lot of things you can do. So my list is not going to be exhaustive by any means. If you want help in this area, again, comment below. We are more than happy to help you with your particular situation. But I want to give you the top 5 things that you can do this month to take advantage of some of these tax saving strategies. The first one to talk about are retirement contributions. And this live we are not going into all the different retirement accounts. That is beyond the scope of this live. But what you do want to know is that as a small business owner, you have the ability to have different types of retirement accounts than someone that is employed. So whereas a 401k is something for an employee, as a business owner, you have other options. So a couple of these that you have that you can open if you don't have them. One is called a solo 401k, which is different than just your typical 401k. You are able to contribute up to $22,500 in 2024. And if you're 50 or over, you're able to put up to $30,000 in there. But here's the key. You have to open it this year. You have to open it by the end of 2024 and fund that in order to take advantage of this. So, and it says, if the plan, just a note I wanted to mention here, if your plan allows employer contributions, you can also contribute up to 25% of the compensation. So that's another thing to consider. There is another type of retirement account called a SEP IRA that you are able to take advantage of as a business owner. And this is an even larger amount. You can contribute up to 25% of your compensation or $66,000, whichever is less. So again, as business owners, we have the ability to really heavily invest in our future in these, and put money away for investments as small business owners. So if you don't have these accounts, I would advise you to set one up. And if you have it set up, have you been funding that? And now is the perfect time, because that is going to be something that you can take advantage of come tax time. Okay, number 2 is about Section 179 and bonus depreciation. So what you can do is very simply just go to irs.gov and just type in Section 179, and you just want to read. Just take 10 or 15 minutes and just read what is Section 179. What it pertains to is it pertains to purchasing of assets and how you're able to depreciate those assets over a certain amount of time. So if you read 179, and there's equipment or other assets that you are able to purchase, you want to purchase those now. You want to go ahead and purchase those assets, because you'll be able to take advantage of depreciation on those assets when you file for 2024 in 2025. So that was number 2. Number 3 pertains to most businesses, and this is a really good tip here, is to look at prepaid expenses. So I want you to think about any apps that you use for your business. Are you paying for those apps on a monthly basis, or are you paying for those on a yearly basis? What you can do is you can pay for those on a yearly basis now. Prepay all of that subscription for the next year. And that way you're paying for all of it now. And that's going to help your taxable income when you go to file your taxes in just a few months or a couple months from now. So think about the things that you know you're going to pay for. And is there a way that you can go ahead and pay for those now to take advantage of tax savings? Number 4 are end of year bonuses. So either for yourself or for your employees, if you have a team, you want to think about paying those people a year-end bonus. The year-end bonuses are going to be reflected as income for your employees, but they're going to be reflected as a business deduction for you as a business owner. So make sure that you think about, look at your finances, plan out about doing year-end bonuses, and then incorporate those by the end of this year to take advantage. And the last one I have is writing off of bad debt. And this is something that I find a lot of business owners kind of forget about. They're not really thinking about the invoices that they haven't been paid. So think about your clients, think about your customers, go through your customer list, or have somebody on your team go through your customer list and identify who hasn't paid you and who is not likely to pay you. You might have a customer that was just a bad situation and they never paid you for something that you invoiced for. If that's the case, then what you want to do is you want to write that off as bad debt, which means debt that you are not very unlikely going to be able to pay off. So your accountant can help you with how to do this. There's an ability. We do this for our clients. We have a bad debt write-off section in our accountant's version of QuickBooks, or you can enter a journal entry, but there's a way that you want to basically in your accounting software say this amount is just not going to be collectible. So you want to do that now, because if you don't, then it's going to show that as income on your accrual-based reporting that you have this money that's still owed to you, when in fact you know that you're probably not going to collect that. So there's 5 tips. So think through these. If you've got a few minutes before you start celebrating for the Christmas holidays, or maybe it's after the Christmas holiday when you're listening and you still have some days and you're trying to just chill out and enjoy some time off, you might want to think through some of these tax tips and also maybe try out another accounting software and see what you think. So again, any questions that we can answer, I'm more than happy. So excited to be here on our first live, and I look forward to the next one. You guys have a good one.